Welcome back to the Old Colony Cat. Let me try that again. Welcome back to the Old Colony Cast, a podcast about all things Plymouth and surrounding areas. I just haven't been talking to anyone all day.
Well, now's your chance.
Sitting alone. I'm your host, Andy, and other host, Hanna.
Hello.
And our talkative editor, Fish.
Yellow.
Yak back.
Yak back, Fish?
Yeah.
Is that like the... No, what am I thinking of?
The Home Alone thing? Where you
Oh,
record
no.
Are you thinking like a talk boy?
I'm thinking of Bop It.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm not a bop it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think of.
Okay.
Different thing.
I'm not a bop it.
It
I'm
was
not
like
a
the
skip it. I'm not a
1990s
Simon.
where they named everything like two things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Do we have any updates?
I kind of have a Shishigahama update.
Okay.
I think on the last one I said that they're back.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I remember them taking a trip. I don't remember them coming back.
I think
Oh,
he's
but your friend's kid is on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he went. They had a good time. They made it back safely. All good. All good. And then my friend got a random update that some of the parents are getting reimbursed. No, sorry, not some. All of the parents are getting reimbursed like $1,000 and some change.
Wow.
But they don't really know why.
Who cares?
And she was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. That she also was like, should Mason come on and do an episode for
I
an
would love
update?
to. I would love to hear that.
Candy,
Yeah.
I was like, Candy, we're recording Monday. She like never got back to me.
That'd be cool though to hear about the experience.
I know. I would love that. So that's really the update I have there. I don't think I have an update about anything else except for sharks.
I don't know about an update, but something I wanted to kind of touch base on, because we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Is so King Richard's Fair is open at Edaville.
Yeah.
And like everyone's posting photos. It looks pretty sweet.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I don't know anyone who's gone yet to like kind of.
I know a few people.
So do I. I've got a couple of friends who have been, and they said it looks like it's obviously not the same. It's not like in the woods like it used to be,
Yeah.
but it still looks pretty good.
Yeah, and there's some woodier areas, but not.
And it looks like they turned it into like a medieval town.
Yeah, yes, it
I'm
looks
like,
cool.
It was really cool. Vendors that book with us all the time, No Country for Beardless Men, are there. Mm-hmm. So they're always posting from it. I've seen a ton of pictures. It looked. I was like, wow, they pulled this together.
They did.
Yeah.
I'm impressed because
I'm also impressed.
That's not a lot of time to do that at all.
No.
They did like good for them.
Yeah.
I could see that venue. That is a good match for that type of thing.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, and I think
sure.
whatever the changes they made and whatever changes to come are.
And I saw a few pictures from the joust and looked
really neat.
pretty similar. So, yeah.
I think too, like just knowing the land mass of that area, I'm like, I just feel like it feels way more spacious because there's some areas of the King Richard's Fair which was like real
tight.
Yeah.
There was also ones that
the old
were just
one, the old
kind
location.
of like, if you didn't know where it was, like you wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was like kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I'd be interested to go. I always go for like a deal day or something like that. So it's see what happens. But
and I saw a friend of the podcast, Amai.
Yeah. She did like
an interview. Amay.
Yep.
Okay. She did like an interview. And I was like, oh, I didn't think she was affiliated anymore, but
I think she is. So this is where the confusion so the King Richard's Fair itself, I think, is still owned by her. They just had to move.
Oh, okay.
But what happened was everyone was saying the King Richard's Fair is being sold, and I think it was simply because the intent was to move. And and then like kind of what we had mentioned before, like we don't know who inspired that move. Was it they just needed to move, or they didn't want them to rent that land anymore, whoever owned that previous plot of land. But I believe she is still the owner operator.
Okay. I was surprised to see her in the video because I'm like, oh, I thought this was, so.
I didn't know what I thought because I heard every version of what happened.
Much.
Yeah. Every version of how that move went
I think
and
friend
who
of the
sold
podcast, Jacques C. Whipper, is back.
Yeah, I saw he was back.
He was doing a thing?
Yeah.
Good for him.
So I think he's on like the billboards and stuff now.
I mean, he's
like a huge internet star now.
Yeah.
Very, very much so, yes.
Yeah. I think that's all I got for
Okay, Hannah did say, I've got nothing left except for the sharks. So what do you mean except for the sharks?
There's been shark sightings right off Whitehorse Beach.
Oh, I saw that.
It's closed.
Yeah. It was Whitehorse, and there was one other beach that got...
I would just roll
Yeah.
Bannermet Beach into that,
Yeah.
too. And there were seals, a dead seal
Yeah.
carcass, like, on a rock. I didn't know that you're supposed to, like, call those in. I've seen a headless seal on Bannermet Beach.
I didn't know if you were supposed to call them in. I know, like, you are not allowed to touch them.
Okay. The dead ones? Even the dead ones?
Don't touch dead random animals, Hannah.
Well, no. Any marine mammal.
Yeah, you're not allowed. Yes, yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
you're not allowed-
And you
you're not
can't
allowed to
have your
touch them.
engine on if you have a boat with an
No,
engine
but
on.
like if they like wash up, you can't
Yeah.
touch them.
Okay,
Like, that's seals, sharks,
good to
Whale.
the
know.
occasional beached whale.
So
Good to
also,
know.
sharks aren't mammals.
Fair point.
Marine life.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Well, sans crabs.
Yeah.
And
So because it's got
Well, they don't swim. They
other
walk.
regular things.
I think it has to do with like you can't also have like you can't even own bald eagle feathers.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
like you could just be like, no, I found it.
Yeah,
So I think
okay.
it's that kind of mentality.
Yes.
And friend of the show, I'm gonna say that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Cassandra, who used to work for animal control,
yeah.
they had a seal carcass wash up, and she wanted to take the head because they were putting together like an informational like wildlife animal trailer to go around to schools to educate kids and stuff. And she had to like call like some sort of state or federal department to get permission to do anything.
Wow.
And so she's cutting the seal's head off.
Yeah.
And stabs herself in the leg. And I'm like, oh my God, do you have mutant seal powers
Oh
now?
my God.
So, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
It's a
Okay.
disappointment.
I mean,
Well, I didn't realize that about those things. And,
Yeah, so any marine
it does
mammal
make
you should not
sense.
touch. Yeah.
And certainly I've never done that. So we're going to talk about
We're going to talk about other laws that Hannah has broken. Yeah, what are we talking about today? I just said the thing.
it's a funny word that I'd never heard before.
Shishigahama?
No. I like that we're pros at that now. Though.
Yeah, right? Now I feel like...
got your reps in, and now it's like, yeah, no, we know.
The Antinomian. Antinomian?
She's looking at me like I've heard that word before.
Just,
I
okay.
feel like if any one of us was, it would be you. Is it related to digging up dead people?
No, not at all. So it's the Antinomian controversy. I'm just going to say it the way it sounds.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
looks. And it is, so the word itself, or antinomianism, means against or opposed to the law.
Okay.
And-
Does that help you with the...
No,
And
not yet.
we're going to put you on a spelling bee. You have to spell that.
I'm not going to win.
And,
Is there a G in there?
no.
Okay, then I think I'm okay.
So it's not about gnomes?
It's a valid concern.
So this was a specific controversy. This occurred in New England.
Oh my God, what a coincidence. Our show's about New
I know,
England.
New England colonies.
How
The
convenient.
first colonies of New England. Hold on a second here, guys. So this is in the late 1630s, okay? I just realized I put it on there and just like me, never put a date. So there's dates in here, just not where I
There's
wanted
somewhere.
it to be.
Yeah.
So the late 1630s.
Okay.
Okay, this is real early then.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're down to Plymouth, Mass Bay,
Yeah.
maybe.
Like Boston a little bit.
Well, that'd be Massachusetts Bay.
Yeah.
Would be Boston.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Just kidding. You're right. Okay.
So pedantic.
No, he is right.
I'm sorry that I'm trying to be accurate on our history podcast.
That's not how we work around here.
I know.
We're not even sure how to pronounce the word.
So this was a word assigned by critics of the free grace movement in the colonies. Do you guys know anything about this?
Is this like the free Karen Reed thing, or is that different?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. This was new to me.
Okay.
So I was
None
like,
of this sounds even remotely familiar.
yeah, no, this is like brand new
Yeah.
information to me. So the controversy began with a difference in views as well as the presence in the role of the Holy Spirit
Okay.
between people who lived in the colonies. So some people kind of felt the word of the Bible was the true word and should be followed strictly, and others felt like your interpretation and your moral standing was more with like how you showed up in the world and that
Okay.
kind of a thing. So the Puritans were the majority, and they believed that individuals' salvation is demonstrated by righteous behavior or good works. So they would follow the good works of the Bible. And
Okay.
they were strict to that. But we all know that, right?
Yeah,
like the
that's-
Puritans were Puritans for a reason.
Yeah.
like,
Right.
And like, I feel like everyone is aware that they were kind of
Hardcore.
stick in the mud.
Yeah.
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 Don't persecute us for our religious beliefs of persecuting other people.
Yes, yes. Antinomians believed that someone's spiritual condition had no bearing on. Oh, I'm sorry. I got this totally mixed up in my head when I first described it. I apologize. The thing I just described about the Puritans was correct. But the Antinomians believed that someone's spiritual condition had no bearing on how they acted. Sorry. At first. It's just, you can do whatever you want. It was
Okay.
It was more like how you felt God in your life, I guess, like how you connected with God,
Okay.
and less about how you acted as compared to what the Bible expected. Does that make sense?
So if you thought you were a good person, then you were a good person, even if you were not?
Kind of,
Like-
maybe.
Okay.
It's loosey-goosey, right? That's why
Yeah.
the Puritans didn't like it.
I don't like saying this, but I'm kind of with the Puritans on this one.
So eventually, or maybe even a naturally occurring theme from the beginning of this movement, but they believed that self-revelation was equivalent to Puritans believed the Bible was final authority. Okay, so yeah, was equivalent to like the scripture essentially. So as long as you had self-realization and self like,
So instead of John 3:16, I'd be like, so according to Andy 3:16.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. So
I'm
they're
like,
the
yeah,
ones.
I can be down with this.
They're the ones that started like interpreting the Bible
Okay.
and making it less of a you have to do this, and they're like, well, maybe it actually just means this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they're more it's not a literal interpretation, but more like
Yeah.
allegories.
And as long as you have your faith in God, then you're good.
Okay.
It did get a little bit more intense than that eventually, but Puritans believed the Bible was like final authority over how they lived their life.
Right.
Okay, so that part I got right. It was not. It took precedence over any personal view you may have or interpretation you may have of the Bible. So we have two really opposing feelings of how
So
the
we had the
scripture should be
Puritans
read.
and proto hippies.
You could say that.
I mean,
Still very like God fearing and loving
but I feel
and
like hippies
strict to
are,
that.
like-
They can be.
Yeah.
The debate between the covenant of grace and the covenant of grace's promise of eternal life for all who follow faith in Christ. So there's a covenant of grace and the covenant of works, eternal life for anyone who does not violate any commandment. So do you know who is who based off what I just
I'm
described?
going to say the works is Puritans
Yes.
and grace is the gnomes.
So thus the gnomes.
Antipasta. What was it again?
Antinomians.
Antinomians.
So thus the free grace movement,
Yeah.
because they were they were the
Yeah, they
covenant
sound like,
of
they sound
grace.
like hippies, man.
well, I mean, it does go from free grace to free love pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the center of this controversy were a few different people, but the big name out of all of it was a woman named Anne Hutchinson. She is described as a strong-minded woman and followed the teachings of John Cotton, who would become her mentor. He was so this was happening in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
She still followed John in England, but because of the way John
She was here.
she was in England.
Okay.
When she started following him in the Free Grace movement.
Okay.
Whether or not it was deemed that at that point when she started, I don't know. But by the time they had to leave England, definitely because they had to, they were like told out.
They had to flee?
They had to flee. They did. They had to flee.
Look, they did that a lot at the time.
Well,
Yes.
As soon as she's like, it was a strong woman, I'm like, wow, they were not welcome.
A strong woman and someone who is of the. I'm gonna say wrong, and guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not the official state-sponsored religion who the king is the head of.
So, John Cotton was forced to flee. Anne followed. She liked him so much. Anne took a little bit of a hold on the folks in Boston when they moved there. So she moved to what would have been the Bay Colony, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So she had a very influential voice. So she started inviting mostly women at first who also were settled in the colony to come to her house after church or services or whatever to talk about how they felt the service went, how they felt the interpretation and what was taught went, and to dissect really what was talked about and how they feel about those same scriptures and things like that.
Proto-feminist, too.
Yes. Yeah. Eventually, men were allowed.
Okay.
And also, the governor of the time started to attend those meetings as well.
Okay. Very controversial.
Yes,
yes,
so
very.
she started to like reel in a pretty decent crowd of just these like Bible talks, essentially.
Yeah.
But also really dissecting how whoever was leading this sermon did and like how they represented the
local preachers,
works.
I'm sure, love that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
At least if it depends, because like I'm like I don't. It's funny how they worked. It was in partnership because they talk about the Church of Boston, and at one point in this story, it's like someone invited so and so to come talk at this, even though they were under extreme scrutiny at this time. So I'm like, what was going on that they were just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, whatever. So she was always pretty harsh on some ministers' teachings if it was of the covenant of works.
Okay.
And not the
Covenant of Grace.
What'd you say?
The Covenant of Grace?
Grace. Yes,
Yeah.
I thought you said Christ. I was like, I think they're all kind of on his team. You know?
Yes.
So another person of interest in this is John Wheelwright. He was also a clergyman. He is Anne's brother-in-law.
Okay.
So I think they were either Anne or John was married to whomever. I don't know.
Either Anne's sister or John's.
But like it sounds like Anne was single.
Okay.
So I think maybe it was her. You know what I mean?
This dude was married to her
sister.
Yes,
Okay.
it might have been that case. I don't. It just sounds that way from the. I could have totally like just missed it somewhere, but she sounded very like, oh, she's following this guy from England. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like,
and
her
doesn't
husband,
mention her husband at all.
Yes, exactly.
At a time where you
I
didn't
feel like
always
they
get
would
your
say,
own
like,
name.
Yeah, at a time it would be like, and she did this, and her husband was okay with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Like, wow,
so it
that's-
kind
I
of makes
mean-
me think that a little bit, but I that could be something I could do of just like a maybe checking in with you guys another time about Anne's marital status. She was like I said, harsh on the John Wheelwright. So there were 3 major players in this. We've talked about Wheelwright, Hutchinson, and
Cotton.
Cotton. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And they started to get a lot of attention. But the Puritans were like, this isn't how we do this. But we knew they would,
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah.
is like the whole concept of this.
It's their whole thing.
It's their whole thing. They were like, we don't like the way you're doing this. You're showing up too big. The groups are getting too big. And now there's clergymen actually like holding church services around the free grace movement. So tension started to grow. To ease the situation, the leaders of the churches called for a day of fasting and repentance on January 19th, 1637. Because what doesn't make people feel better about stuff than just
And
being
not eating.
hungry?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, that sounds like a terrible idea.
And we're all going to sit here and be hungry and think about what we've done.
But that's
Yes.
like the Puritan thing. Is like
Yeah.
you need to suffer.
Yes. So cotton. So that just didn't work. It fizzled into nothing. And tensions were still really high. Yeah.
And you know, it's like I'm sure they're like, I don't understand why people are like falling into this new, you know, religious take.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's not eat for a day. And on the other side, they're like, tacos? What do you want? Baklava? Let's go.
Tacos. It's true though.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Tacos and baklava.
yeah.
Because I have like a
Are you hungry?
no, I'm not. But if this was making me think of a God, what's his name? Stand-up comic, kind of short, did the voice of the rat from Ratatouille. Patton Oswalt.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
He does a whole thing about like people's different religion, and like someone's like, oh, you know, there's a guy up there that makes, you know, cake and the sky
Yeah.
cake, and you know, when you die, you can have as much sky cake as you want, and then they get on a boat and land somewhere else, and they're like, it's sky baklava, and they kill him. So like that's why baklava was in my head.
Gotcha. And we were just talking about tacos.
Yeah, we were.
The taco. I mean, come on.
Oh, I didn't ask about that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That made perfect sense to me.
So on one of the days that church was being held at the Boston Church, I mentioned this a second ago, Cotton, who was going to do majority of the service, and I believe did, but he invited Wheelwright to speak at this, and folks did not like this.
I bet they didn't. That's not generally a popular thing.
No. So March 1637, the court accused Wheelwright of contempt and sedition. He was not sentenced. And his followers had only because his followers had circulated a petition on his behalf.
Yeah.
And like gave it to the judge and was like, please don't do anything to this man. We heart him. And he didn't for a moment. The Free Grace movement took a hit. I don't know why I wrote it like that. They lost the gubernatorial race. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the governor lost
Governor lost.
Got it.
Yes. At first, I was like,
because he was hanging out with the hippies.
well, I thought we lost him for a second, even though I wrote these notes. I was like, what? He died. So Governor Henry Vane was that was the governor that was attending Anne's like church talks or whatever. And he lost the race in May 1637. So they had someone who was in the Free Grace movement that was kind of like, hey, no,
Was in
we're
charge.
cool.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
cool. And then they were like, nah.
That's probably why he lost.
And then a few magistrates, too, that were part of it got
Yeah.
voted out. So they lost, like, whatever good standing they had. in the
Whatever legal cover they had.
Yes, exactly. And all of them were those who were voted out were in support of Anne and Wheelwright, or Anne Hutchinson and John Wheelwright. So that was specifically the motive behind getting
Yeah.
them out. November 1637, Wheelwright was in fact sentenced to banishment. And Anne was also brought to trial. I forgot about this part. Anne was cool. Okay. She was defending herself, and she did a mostly good job.
Oh, dear.
However,
The first day went really well for her.
okay.
On the second day, she said she had a direct personal revelation from God. She prophesied the ruin of the colony, and she was charged with contempt and sedition and also banished.
Where do you ban? Like, where were they banished to?
Such a good question. So
I'd assume Rhode Island, but I don't
No.
think Rhode Island
That's
was
what
a
I'm like.
thing
Did
yet.
Guys-
they just get like kicked out of town, or
Did they
like,
go to Plymouth?
sent
this
overseas?
is the most exciting part of the story to me, kind of.
Okay.
They decided to go somewhere that hadn't been established yet. Because,
Martha's Vineyard.
No, because when obviously these two were going together.
Yeah.
And they had followers. So
Yeah.
they were like, let's all go. So they went to New Hampshire.
Okay.
or what would become New Hampshire. They went to an area that was had not been colonized yet. Natives were still there.
Yeah.
The indigenous people were still there, and they lived there seasonally. So they would come back for like the rivers, the fish, and like growing. But
the indigenous people.
yeah,
Okay,
and they
all right.
would move away, but they still occupied the area.
Yeah.
So they would move to what is now called Exeter, New Hampshire,
Okay.
and they established Exeter.
And that's super exciting.
Because they made the town. I just
okay,
thought that was
all right.
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Hannah's deep personal tie to Exeter.
Yeah, I'm like, I know.
I don't know. They named it after
Like, I
a
don't think
town
I've
in
ever been.
England. I thought like Exeter had. At first, I was like, oh, because they got banished, and it's like
They
Exeter.
exited. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
No.
But I just thought,
we weren't
like,
that clever
The
around
movement and the banishment of these people, and actually, like, they're like, we'll just start a new place, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's still a place. Like, it didn't change after
Yeah,
that.
it's still there.
Yeah. So before he did that, it was described that he was actually like couch surfing.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, that's funny. But people did do that. I think
Did
back
they have
to
couches?
like, nah, they had like the sacks, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm describing?
The sacks.
No, they had couches.
Like beanbag chairs?
yeah. Hey, I'm thinking of the mattresses they would put on the ground for the kids in
Oh yeah.
like the plantation, like
Yeah.
and that, mind you, that plantation setup is like that from their first winter there. I'm sure things changed quite a bit after a few years, but
Okay, so for the record.
they definitely had couches.
Oh, yeah, sofas go back to 2000 BC.
yeah, they're
Oh really?
So,
Yes.
Okay.
like, sofas are
well.
thousands of years
Whenever I try to think about how the United States looked at this time for colonists,
Yeah.
obviously first go around is probably, you know, whatever could work for them in that moment, but also it happened at the same time as like just shy of William Shakespeare. And what did England look like at that time?
Yeah.
And they definitely had all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so
And for the record, the beanbag chair dates to 1968.
yeah, I was talking about the mattress.
I know. We said beanbag chair, and
I just think they'd
Yeah.
set it up like what I'm on now. They're like, just lean it against the wall.
Yeah, you know, and it's just one of those like you think of movies of that time, and you just never see them like chilling on the sofa.
No,
Yeah.
well, they didn't. They had to be busy or studying.
Yeah.
You know, don't get too comfortable.
being comfortable is a sin.
Yes. So
You can't call it a love seat. That implies things.
a couple things of note. I already talked about the indigenous that lived in the area. He said that, that's noted that there were about 3 other settlers there, but they lived like on their own.
Yeah.
So whether that's a family or whatever, but they were there and they weren't like really.
Looking for neighbors.
No, they were. I think they were okay with that. But as far as the indigenous of the area, it was a Swams. I said Swamscots, but it's Squamscots.
Squamscots?
Yes, I think so. I'd have to look that up again because I realized after I was just saying the town, and I don't think it's exactly the way the town is said.
Okay.
That occupied the area,
Okay.
but they didn't like. They weren't on bad terms with them because they were like, I don't know, it's just these 3 guys and we're here seasonally, so that's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And so they believe that Wheelwright maybe got together with one of the settlers to make some terms or conditions of moving in with the local tribe. So he actually did make a deed
Okay.
to be signed by the hold on. To be signed by Weha Nowet, who was the Sagamore of
Can
that
we
tribe.
make a supercut of just Hannah trying to pronounce things?
No, please, no. I'm trying my best. So he not a lot's known about him either,
Yeah.
other than that he was pretty, as far as like dealing with English or settlers, he was like pretty savvy.
Yeah.
So in this deed, it was detailed that you can have the land that you physically make buildings on. Like
Yeah.
that's your, like, we're not going to go into your houses.
Yeah.
We're not going to like rummage through your gardens or anything like that. But everything else we still have access to when we need it, because they like I said, they were kind of in and out, so they were not going to, like, all the fields that they still had or areas for their farming, like that was going to be theirs. You don't settle on that, you pick a new spot. We still get to fish the rivers, we still get to like bring our any animals we might be like.
So it's not that, like, was it Manhattan that they bought for like beads and blankets? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
no. And there was there was a trade of some extent, and there was conditions to the actual contract to him buying the area.
Yeah.
So where they still had full access to the land. That lasted and worked well for them for a long time. The only thing that started popping up that like became inherently bad for like any native people to live in that area was like when grist mills and just mills in general started popping up. Like we started to really oversaturate the area with, because they're like, I guess we can build here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like,
if we build it, it's ours.
I'm sure that was the attitude, and then that got in the way of their fishing territories. Like, you know, the more people developing. So eventually they took advantage of what was given to them initially, as we sit in this building.
Under the Airbud rule of, well, you didn't say a dog can't own a house.
So, but anyways, 175 individuals followed, and like I said, they named it Exeter. They made that deal. They had a pretty successful time settling that area, as it still exists in as that name today. And it would soon become the site of the Exeter incident, which I don't know if you guys know about that. It would eventually, not soon.
I mean, of course I do, but you should probably fill in fish what that is.
If you would be so kind.
You don't know what it is?
No.
It's an alien incident.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You don't know about this?
I don't know of anything called the Exeter incident.
Yeah. It's just aliens. It was like, I think it happened around the same time as Bob and the two people up in New Hampshire.
Oh, Benny and Barney Hill.
Benny and Barb. Yeah, I think it was like the same time frame. I think.
Yeah.
Don't come after me, people who know about this.
But I'm the people who know about this, and I don't know about this.
So that is the story of
the Antinomians.
The Antinomians and the free whatever.
Grace.
Free Grace. I keep wanting to call it like Free Spirit, like something random. The Free Grace movement, and how that would establish the town of Exeter, New Hampshire.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know how?
I am curious on how this wasn't on the list, and I'm like, how did we get here?
Ann Hutchinson's on the list.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is, right?
Ann Hutchinson's on the list.
She is. But I took the story from a different direction.
I assume. I didn't realize where we were coming
Who put
from.
Ann Hutchinson on the list?
Probably Hanna.
I think I did.
Like,
so, and I don't even think I touched on the parts of Anne that I was like probably even going to talk about.
Okay.
But that's okay. So, because this all came about because one of Donnie's friends / my friend Jason, his last name's Wheelwright, and he was playing. What's the game where it's like nuclear? Fallout. He was playing Fallout.
Yeah, sure.
And he saw a stone, a headstone with the name John Wheelwright, and he was like, "Well, that's crazy because that's my last name." And so he looked it up to see like why there was a
John Wheelwright.
Oh, so this is the Fallout that was set in Boston?
I think so.
Yeah.
And so that's what he discovered. And that's what inspired me to talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's random.
I know. But I was like, that's an episode, I think. I did come into it thinking it was going to be about witches.
Okay.
And it wasn't?
It wasn't.
Because
No.
I could definitely see.
I could see the interpretation of it, but like
Yeah.
all accounts just say they were like reckless believers, essentially.
And by that, they mean not doing it exactly the way the Puritans said you were
Yeah.
supposed to,
Yeah.
which is, yeah.
They were slightly less strict.
Probably not, just differently strict.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, Ann Hutchinson is on there, and I totally was like.
So should I leave her on the list?
Leave her on just in
Yeah.
case.
Obviously, we didn't discuss. This was not her episode.
She was like the footnote in it because I thought the concept and what happened was interesting enough. But yeah, she's on there.
Did she come up during like one of the episodes we did about like one of the first teachers or
Something.
Something
I feel
like that.
Yeah.
There's something about her, but we'll go back to her
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
if there's enough, and I can.
We will just constantly do
And the
episodes
whole
that
episode,
gently touch on
And it'll
Ann
be like,
Hutchinson.
Ann Hutchinson. I'll be like, I have no idea who we're talking
No,
about.
it's like we covered in 4 episodes. Yeah, but we hit stop.
Collectively, we'll eventually talk about her.
Yeah.
You just have to listen to 5 different episodes.
At some point, I'll lose my mind and do the Ann Hutchinson supercut of like 9 different episode clips. I'll cut together into the tale.
But yeah, I thought it was a cool concept.
It was.
I had no idea.
I'd never heard of that.
No.
Never heard about it either. So that's all I got.
See, kids, video games are educational.
And this is the part where we stop talking.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.